Hey everyone, good morning all. So today we are going to discuss about Spring Boot features and how to set up Spring Boot application. Also, we are going to discuss in today's session, guys. Okay, so to set up Spring Boot application, first you need to complete about the setup process. I mean to say, you need to install STS in your local system. Okay, and as well as IntelliJ in both approaches in the last session I explained. So today how to create a project and what is the folder structure and what kind of files you are going to create, how many ways you can create the project. Let me demonstrate you the first activity here. Okay, first to set up the project. Okay, now we have two options. We have the first option is using Spring Initializer, and we need to import the project and we need to understand the project structure and we can run the application. This is who are following through IntelliJ, they can follow these steps here. Okay, now let me demonstrate you here. Now this is our workspace. Okay, once you downloaded STS in your local system, now you can create a shortcut on the desktop as well. Now what is the window? This is the one, 4.32.0 release. Once you open, this is the icon. Now alternatively you can create a shortcut also. Right click, there is a create a shortcut. Now using this shortcut you can able to create, and in the desktop it will be display for you in this option. So if you double click, your STS will be open. First time it will take a time, later on time it will be very fast to open your dashboard here. Okay, now here there is an option called file, new. There is a Spring Starter project here. Click on this option, and now it will ask you the project name here. See, name of the project, let me write as a hello, 00 hyphen hello I am writing. And which type of project you want to create? I want to create as a Maven project. We are using for dependency management, we are using as a Maven, and packaging as a jar, Java version as Java 17. And there is a group ID for any project. You need to create one group ID. Now I'm creating, we basically it should be a domain name. If it is a Spring framework, they are using org.spring framework, org.spring boot. They used to create project name in that approach also. So I want to follow com.java express I am following. And this is about your project name, and this is your package name. I want to use my package name also, com.java express. These are the minimum basic options to create a project here. Now if you see, there is a location, whichever you created the project, D colon 47 folder. Here I created one workspace, 00 hyphen hello. This is the location of your project from where you are creating. I am choosing use default location and choose the next option. And here
Sorry to
I have,
interrupt.
yeah.
I just want to know, like, what is difference between this artifact ID and this
Mm,
name
this
of the project?
this name is nothing but it will display a project name here. Artifact ID means, I mean to say, when you generate a jar file name should be there, right? There I will
Mhm.
explain you how artifact ID and group ID will be involved.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
yeah,
Okay, sure. Thank you.
yeah, yeah. So let me choose the next option. Here, I am not using always latest version. Don't go for latest version. Always there will be an issues will be there with the latest version. Go for 3.4.10 version I am using. This is the stable version here. If we go ahead here, lot of deprecations will be there, lot of changes will be there. So always you can go for prior version, 3.4.10 version you can choose, guys. Okay, and I'm not adding any dependency as of now. Choose the next option, click on finish. Click on finish. Now a project will be created here. Now this is the how we can create a project in STS here. In IntelliJ also I will be show you. Another option is using initializer. How I can do that? There is a start.spring.io. This is the official website of the Spring Boot. Okay, here we can create the project directly. See here. Now there is a which type of project? Maven project. Which type of language? Java. Which Spring Boot version? 3.4.10. Here we should provide our project ID, metadata information. Right now, whatever you are using, com.java express. Now, 01 hello, and here see, I want to use the package name. This is the one option here. And which version? 17. See, if you want to add any dependencies, we can add dependencies here. Later I will explain you about the dependencies. Now there is an option called generate. So a project will be downloaded into your local system. See, project available. Now in IntelliJ, you don't have an option to create project directly in this approach. So you guys need to file import the project here. Okay, especially if you are using IntelliJ, let me know. We can explain later. I will take about IntelliJ how to do and everything here. Okay. Now, if you see, this is the project structure, guys. This is a Spring Boot project. How I can identify this is a Spring Boot project means click on pom.xml, and here if you observe, this is called 3.4.10, and just observe there is one special tag available here. See, parent tag. Inside a parent tag, observe here org.springframework.boot, and this is your artifact ID here. There is a what is the artifact ID? Starter hyphen parent. This is the tag. Now this is the Spring Boot version I am using. So this is a Spring Boot project or not, how to identify using this tag I can identify here. I will explain you what is about starter parent and what about the starters. This is one of the feature in the Spring Boot. I will explain you those points as well. This is for pom.xml file. Okay, and let me close this one. And if you see here, this is the folder structure. SRC main Java. Our Java classes, we supposed to write our business logic. If anyone want to write SRC main Java, here we supposed to write. SRC main resources means if you want to write any configurations, if you want to write any configurations, we supposed to write under application dot property file. We supposed to write here. It is kind of a replacement for your XML configurations, everything like database properties or Spring security properties or any other properties we will be write in the application dot property file here. And there is a another folder, target folder. When you generate a jar file for this project, the complete information available under the target folder here. And there is another folder if you want to write unit test cases, src test java. This is the another folder structure, src test java. This is a maven folder structure. By default it will create in this approach. So each folder has a specific responsibility we have. So java classes we need to write in this folder, and if any properties or any configurations, database properties or anything, we supposed to write in application dot properties, or unit test cases will be there under this folder here. These three folder structures. So entry point for this application is by default it will create application dot java. See, This is the entry point for our Spring Boot application here. See, this is one of the popular annotation at the rate Spring Boot application annotation we have here. From here, it will trigger our Spring Boot application here. Okay, we'll discuss soon that point here. So that is the first step, how to create a project in STS here. Now you want to import the project. So for that, I downloaded a project, right? In the downloads folder, see 01 hello. So what you need to do, right click, and there is a extract option we have, right? Where is that? There is a extract here. When you extract here, it is a created one folder. See, now this is a Spring Boot project here. And here we have a pom.xml file. Now what you need to do, copy this one, right click, copy. Who are using IntelliJ, you guys need to follow these steps here, guys. Now once you download it into your initializer, now you generated, right? Now for project is downloaded in your local system. Now how to import, right click, copy, and go to your 47 batch and go to your workspace and keep the project here. Now, immediately it will not display here. See, it will not display for you here. You need to import the project file, import. Which type of project this is? Maven project. Existing Maven project, and there is an option called browse, and this is the project I want to choose. Select the folder and select. Even if I provide a source code to you, you guys need to follow the same steps. You need to import as a Maven project into your workspace. See, 01 hyphen hello. Are you clear how to import the project here?
Yes.
Now, this is I done in which way? STS. Now, let me open IntelliJ. IntelliJ I'm opening. Little bit different in IntelliJ. Why? Because icons and everything. Now, see here, there is an option called open. Directly open we have. Click on open. Okay. I want to open all projects at one shot. What you can do, you can provide your, like now you are in this path. Don't select anything. Choose a select folder. So all the projects will be imported at one shot. See this window. Trust the project. See, two projects are appearing to you. 00 hyphen hello, 001 hyphen hello. Now, can I run this application directly? Means we'll see that activity. Right now, if you see here,
I have a question, a small question.
yeah,
Actually, this dot metadata folder is
that's not
created.
required by
Uh,
STS. So that's
yeah, yeah,
not,
it
that
is.
is
It
not required.
is. Okay.
Basically, both we should maintain as a different workspace. IntelliJ as one, STS as one. Why?
Mm.
Because both as it will generate their own ID. See here,
Okay.
dot ID plugin
Okay,
is
this dot ID is similar to dot metadata for STL.
exactly correct. True.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now, first let me run how to run the application in here. Now, if you take here, go to application.java. Here, right click on right click on the main. You know already how to run a Java file. Same pattern. Run as Spring Boot application. Now let it run. Click on hello. Now see 3.4.10. Your Spring Boot application is started. Started the application here. Now this is the how you can run our application in STS directly. Okay. You go to IntelliJ now. Now, if you see IntelliJ, if you go to src main Java application.java, this application.java, see, still it is asking project SDK is not defined. So we need to set up our SDK. Now, if you install JDK, it will appear automatically for you. Now just click here, SDK. This is a one-time setup. SDK will be loaded, and we need to convert this project as a Maven project in IntelliJ. How can I do that? Means right click on the project, and there is an option here. Uh, Let me click on pom.xml file. If you see here, now you cannot see, there is no run option here. You cannot run this Spring Boot application right now. To run, I need to convert this application as a Maven project. For that, what you can do, in pom.xml, right click, there is an option called add as a Maven project. Keep it to here. Then it will be initialized and everything. See, it is in the blue color. Everyone able to see, guys? 01 and 00, there is a difference. Are you able to see? Now there is a run option is available here. Now click, see, you can run application, you can debug the application, everything you can perform. Click on run our application here. If we are using IntelliJ Community Edition, every time you need to follow these steps. You need to download, you need to import, and you need to add as a Maven project. These three steps are mandatory here. But in STS, directly you can create and you can develop. If you have a ultimate edition license product with you, then you can able to create project it directly. That option you will get it here also. Now it's a building takes time. Now it is taking the time. Let it. See, downloading Maven plugins. See, dot class path, dot project. These are all like STS icons. Right now, same project I imported in IntelliJ and as well as STS. So that's where you are able to see. Now see here, 3.4.10, your application is started. In 4 seconds, your application is started in IntelliJ. But whereas in STS, you're able to see it took 6 seconds to start our application. The development will be fast and IntelliJ, but due to some constraints, we cannot able to use this project. I mean, in IntelliJ for development. Yes, we will use as part of microservices. We'll try to use IntelliJ also here. So that end of the course, you will be comfortable both tools, STS and IntelliJ. In your organization, whichever you are using, yes, you can use both also here. Are we good?
Yes.
Set up IntelliJ in Windows, set up STS in Windows, how to import the project in both places. Everyone clear, right? Others, please acknowledge. Any questions, let me know. I will repeat you guys if you need anything. These are the steps we done. Yes, Vishal, Parji, Dalsab, Bharati.
Done.
Are we good,
Good.
right? Yeah. Now, folder structure. As we said, SRC main Java is for the main for Java code, application code. SRC main resources where it has a config files, application.property where you supposed to write database configuration, all the things. And pom.xml file or build.gradle file. If you are choosing Maven project, okay, yeah, just now double sub I shown you, right? Import multiple projects right now. Now here we have a two projects here. Two projects are imported at one shot, right? You can talk to me so that I can clarify your doubt. Not in the chart window, please. See, now, but manually you need to do add as a Maven project. That is a manual step. You don't have other option. Now you need to choose the root folder. That's it. If you choose root folder, all the projects will appear directly here to you. Okay. If you choose single project, Later, if you want it, now there is an option called plus icon, new file or directory. This is option. You can choose it. Module file directory like this. Okay. So if you are choosing Maven as a build management tool, we are using pom.xml file. If you are using Gradle, build.gradle. We have two build management tools. We have Gradle has a different option. Maven has a different option. Right now we are depending on the Maven. Java team mostly they will use. Gradle also people will use. It has a both pros and cons we will have. And entry point for our application at the rate spring boot application, this is the main class here. So the magic will start from here. It will do auto configuration feature by default if you have this annotation here. Then what auto configuration everything will explain you here, guys. Okay. Now create spring boot application using spring initializer. Just now we completed downloading from the browser and extracting your folder and importing in STS, importing in IntelliJ also. Both steps are completed right now here. Okay. So now the first feature I'm going to discuss about the starter dependencies. What does it mean? First, read the point here. Spring Boot comes with a pre-configured setup. Means if you want to create a web application or distributed application, we need to add one starter called Spring Boot Starter Web Dependency. If you add this dependency, internally it will download lot of dependencies for you to run as a web application or distributed application or anything. You may need 10 to 15 dependencies are required. All the dependencies it will be taken care. We no need to add manual stuff. In Spring, we need to add manually, but now they are given as a starter. Are you able to see? Starter hyphen web, starter hyphen data jpa hyphen security. Internally transitive dependencies will be downloaded for you. Just you need to add in the class path. If you add as a web, it will deploy your application into Tomcat automatically. That is about auto configuration. If you are writing data jpa, all database dependencies will be downloaded. Hyphen security, every security dependencies will be available to you. If you are not writing these dependencies, if you are missing these three, just by default this is the starter will be available. Means have a look here. Now if you click on pom.xml file, and if you come down, see by default spring hyphen boot hyphen starter. Means this will become, it will treat as a standalone application here. It will treat as a standalone application. If you click on Maven dependencies, see here lot of dependencies are available here. We are not added, but to run our application, default dependencies required in our application here. See here, starter hyphen test. All unit test cases dependencies will be available. Mockito, Hamcrest, okay, JUnit. All specific dependencies will be added in the Maven dependencies here. If you want to know hierarchy, there is an option called dependency hierarchy. Click on this option and see here you can able to see in your pom.xml how many dependencies we added. Two dependencies here. Now spring boot hyphen starter test. Now this is the one. If you click here, sorry, it will open pom.xml. There is an option icon. See here, internally it is downloading these many number of dependencies here. Again, now this is a parent pom. Inside your pom.xml, you added this dependency, but internally downloading few more dependencies. See, Spring Boot. Inside a Spring Boot, Spring Core, Spring Context, and Spring Boot Auto Configure, Okay, Spring Boot starter logging and SLF4j, log4j, all logging specific dependencies available here. In this way, your starter dependencies will work in our application. You no need to by hard code your dependencies and writing. No, directly they are given this feature for us is nothing but adding a dependency. See, dependencies. Click on add dependency. Now you need a web. Now see, if you are using Spring Web, read the point. You can build web applications, including RESTful applications using Spring MVC. It uses Apache Tomcat as a default embedded container. If you are adding this dependency, now if you are adding reactive web, it will be deploy your application on the Netty server Webflex dependency. Now you need a database dependency. See here, persist data in SQL store with JPA using Spring Data and Hibernate. Now you need a MySQL driver. You need a Oracle driver. Okay, you need some kind of a AWS. No, you don't have. You need some Azure support. See, Azure Key Vault, Azure Storage, completely Azure Open API. Like that, you can, if you start typing as a Spring, all Spring specific dependencies, these are all predefined starters. You like 90% of work it will done using dependencies. The remaining 10% external dependencies that is not part of here, we need to take from Maven Central and we need to add in. See, Kafka, Cloud Stream, Eureka, Spring Batch, Cloud Gateway, everything will be available here. So now you added as a Spring Web. Instead of generating, I want to see what is the dependency I want to know. Click on explore. See, this is the folder structure. See here. Now if you are adding web dependency, there is no hyphen starter. Internal it will be see, this is the dependency here. Now you can able to see. Now let me add some other dependency. Suppose data JPA. Okay, and let me type as a MySQL driver. Okay, click on explore. Now see here, data JPA, starter hyphen web. See, MySQL dependency. Every dependency will be automated for way. We no need to add manually here, guys. That is the importance of the dependencies here. Just have a look here. Now, now the same project 00 hyphen hello. Whenever you are opening pom.xml file, you are able to see there is an error in the project. Okay, see there is an error is displaying. Just you can remove yes. There is some proxy or something an issue here. Just remove the yes here. It will remove your error from the project. And if you see, I want to add hyphen web. Only hyphen web I am writing, guys. Save the application. Save the application. Now it will download dependencies and you can able to see your application will be deployed into Tomcat automatically, guys. Let me show you now. Click on pom.application.java. Right click, run as Spring Boot application. This is called auto configuration feature, guys. Previously, if you add a dependency, it will not happen in Spring. We need to take care lot of other things. Web.xml file, dispatcher servlet, we need to configure all the things we should be taken. See the difference now. Huge difference you have are able to see here. Starting the service, Tomcat. Starting the servlet engine, Apache Tomcat, which version you are using, and initializing Spring embedded web application context, IOC container, and see Tomcat started on port number 8080. It took 3 seconds of time to run your application. Now, directly in the browser, you can hit the URL. What is the URL? Very well known error in the application 8080. Enter. See, white label error page. You will get this exception 404 URL is not found. This is the how your application is deployed into Tomcat automatically here. Now, if you click on again pom.xml file, click on dependency hierarchy and see here Spring Boot hyphen starter, Spring Boot starter JSON, Spring Boot starter Tomcat, Spring Web, WebMVC, and inside a web Spring Bean, Spring Core, and inside WebMVC we have Spring Context. See, these are all manually we should add to run your application as a web application in Spring side. But now you no need to spend time on the infrastructure setup, configuration setup. Everything it will be taken care. If you add all the dependencies are downloading for you, right? Again, compatible versions, it will be taken care automatically here. How? Go to pom.xml and there is an option called this is one, right? Use control keyboard. Click on this one. Again, use control keyboard. Click on this one. No. See here. Spring Boot hyphen dependencies. With this Spring Boot version, below are the compatibility versions. These versions will be downloaded for you. See here. All the dependencies versions, they will be hard coded here. These are all like a supported Spring Boot, your dependency versions for your application here. If you change Spring Boot version, these versions will be changed. Automatic compatibility will be there. Previously, we need, if you are using latest Spring version, old Hibernate version, you may see compatibility problem. So to avoid the compatibility problems, so all the versions also it will be taken care, and in your pom.xml we are not writing any versions anymore. Just I am adding group id and artifact id, that's it. The versions will be downloaded. See, you can able to see versions. If you see here Jackson 2.18.4 and JSON path 2.9.0 and Jupyter 5.11. See, these are all the versions I am not writing anymore. Everything available in your transitive dependencies, it will taken care by your parent starter. Spring Boot hyphen starter hyphen parent. If you are working on any old Spring application, open your pom.xml. Here you can able to see hundreds of dependencies in your pom.xml, guys. Now everything we can avoid using this Spring Boot starter dependencies concept here. That is the benefit of using Spring Boot starter web dependency. Now I want to add data JPA. See here, pom.xml, right click, through visualization how to add. There is a Spring icon, add starters. See guys, add starters. You will get the pop-up. And see here you can type what dependencies are required. Just if you type as a data JPA. See, SQL Spring Data JPA. Click on this option and choose the next option. Just I'm adding the dependency. Internally, auto configuration will happen automatically for you. Click on finish. Now it will throw exception. We cannot run our application. Why? We are adding data JPA means we supposed to communicate to database. Which database you want to communicate? There is no database here, but data JPA specific dependencies will be added. Click on dependency hierarchy and verify here. See, starter hyphen JDBC, Hibernate core, Spring Data JPA, and Spring aspects. Inside here, data comments, Spring ORM, Spring AOP, Spring transaction. See, all the dependencies will be downloaded, which is required for database operations for you. Now, if I run this application now, it will throw an exception. Hey, Hey bro, just you need to add your database properties as well. But how it is throwing? Because of internally verifying. Okay, see here, description, application failed to start, failed to configure data source, URL attribute is not specified, no embedded data source could be configured, failed to determine sortable driver class. Either you can use MySQL or Oracle or Mongo or embedded database also we have. So it is asking, please put it on the class path. So I will be taken care if you keep in your pom.xml here. That is the benefit of using your starter dependencies instead of you downloading. Okay, everything will be available in the starter dependencies here. Right now I am commenting this one, guys. Later we'll explain about database operations. This is not the right time to start DB operations now. This is the first feature we have. Are we clear about the first feature?
Yes.
Others?
Actually, I want to know about Spring is having AI features in the.
You're asking Spring AI. Right now we are not discussing Spring AI. Okay. Yeah. Spring AI means what? You need to communicate with your LLM, like ChatGPT, like we have other ChatGPT, we have other things. You need to configure in our application. If you have a React application, both we can combine. You can create like a mini chat window. Instead of you using ChatGPT directly through our application, we can use. That way we can configure Spring AI. It's not like a open source also. For that, we need to pay some dollars. So they will give some access keys to you. You need to configure in our application. Then you can do that activity here.
That means if the interview will ask this question, then what we can say?
Sure. Spring AI, we are not you directly. You can say no worries on that one. See, in our project, we are if you say I am using means and which use case you are using, why we need. Without that, you cannot develop lot of follow-up questions. You will instead of saying that yes, Spring AI they introduced in my project, we are not using right now. Like that, you can explain. Got it? If you say something new, if you say no, lot of follow-up questions will come to the picture. Got it?
And Gen AI, generative AI.
That's a prompt engineering. So definitely AI specific. Right now there is no AI specific in this course. Okay. Yeah. Hope you saw my course content, right?
Okay.
Have
And
you seen?
unit testing, J unit.
Yeah, market will be covered. No worries on that. Okay. Starter dependencies. Are we clear, guys? Any questions on this one? Okay.
And
Good.
one question: instead of Spring Boot's data JPA, if you use Spring JDBC, is there any problem?
That is a old style. JDBC means again data JPA benefit you will not get.
Uh, it is communicating with the database. Na? Spring
Mm,
JDBC is also used for that communicating with the database.
Yeah, if you use direct JDBC, you need to go for JDBC template configuration. Data JPA you will not get. Data JPA has a special benefits we have. If you depend on Spring JDBC, we have Spring ORM, we have. If you are using Spring ORM, you need to go for Hibernate template. If you are using Spring JDBC, JDBC template. If you are using Data JPA, that benefit you will get. All the combination dependencies will available. Whichever you need, you can utilize in our project.
That means you are saying whatever the features we will get in Spring JDBC, all those things we will get in data JPA.
Exactly. Correct. That's why that is the combination of dependencies. If you see here, if you click on dependency hierarchy, see here. Just I commented here. Let me revert back. Click on bomb.xml. Let me enable this one. Go to dependency hierarchy. And if you observe, if you are using JDBC, See, if you use data JPA dependency on JDBC, Hibernate Core, data JPA, Spring aspects. If you use only JDBC as a starter, what you will get? Spring JDBC, Spring Boot Starter, Hikari. That's it. You will not get benefit of data JPA. If you are using and ORM, now see, this data JPA is completely depend on ORM data. See, Spring ORM dependency. Again, ORM is depending on Spring JDBC, Spring Transaction, Spring Core, Spring Base, like that. So if you are adding this dependency, only this benefit you will get. If you add this dependency, you can use JDBC, you can use ORM, you can use data JPA. All the features you can utilize. Clear?
Yeah, yeah. And last question: is it a two-tier architecture or three-tier architecture?
There is no UI here.
No, no. Three-tier means controller layer,
Yeah,
service layer, DB layer.
all the things we will get as part of REST API will be. This is I'm discussing about starter dependencies. If you're asking advanced questions, this is not the right time to answer.
Oh,
Why? Because everyone should be aware, right? I
that
don't want.
means we are doing the latest things here.
Yes, yes, everything is latest only.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah. This is about the starter dependencies here. This is the first feature what we have in our application here, guys. And at the rate Spring Boot application. What is Spring Boot application annotation? Means, see, Spring Boot application annotation is not only a single annotation, it is the combination of few more annotations. See here, three more annotations is nothing but auto configure the application. It will scan the components and it will register configuration classes. Three functionalities we have. This is the entry point for our application here. There is a chance of interview question. What is the combination of annotations, or what is the importance of this annotation? They will ask you. Spring Boot application here. Name itself is an annotation here. This is the combination of three more annotations, means Spring Boot configuration, enable auto configuration, at the rate component scanning. These three annotations is the combination of this annotation here. So we no need to write explicitly in our code. It will be by default available for you. Now enable, because of this annotation, when you add web starter deployed into a Tomcat, if you are adding data JPA, it is trying to communicate to database. How it is happening? This is all about your auto configuration feature. Using this annotation, enable auto configuration, it is activating. It will scan your class path. Based on your class path, it will identify, okay, you added as a web dependency, so I no need to taken care everything. If you are adding web dependency, means I will be auto configure specific related to Tomcat. See, if you are adding if you are not writing Tomcat, means dispatcher servlet we need to configure old style. Now whenever this dependency is on class path, it will auto configure the Tomcat and dispatcher servlet. No need to write XML configurations anymore. It will be embedded Tomcat server, embedded, I mean, say, dispatcher servlet will be configured. Messaging converters also will be there, like a serialization and deserialization. You are sending a request in the form of JSON data. I want to convert to an object, again object to JSON. All message converters and everything will be available inside this web starter here. So that's why Spring Boot automatically configure your application based on the dependencies available in the class path in the pom.xml. This is a inbuilt feature in the Spring Boot here. In interview room also you can explain. If someone asks what does it mean auto configuration, clearly you need to explain about this concept here. This is one point. And specific to data JPA, when you are using data JPA, it will be create entity manager factory, data source object, hibernate specific dependencies, everything will be available. You can communicate with your database also using data JPA dependency here. Okay guys, just 1 minute, just a minute. Sorry guys, yeah. So data JPA will work in this style here. Okay, this is about the first feature about in our Spring Boot application annotation. Use control keyboard, click on this annotation. Now you can able to see here Spring Boot configuration, enable auto configuration, component scanning. This is a internal functionality. We no need to do anything here. So everything will be automated way here. You can explain in interview room by giving an example for web starter and data JPA. That approach you can explain to interview room as well. This is the first feature here. Okay, so for today I am closing the session and we'll continue in the next session for the remaining functionalities and features. We'll discuss in detail level also here guys. That's all for today's session. And if any questions, and we'll take all your questions in the next session. And our demo sessions are completed, and tomorrow no session due to Dasra and some holidays are there, right? We'll let you know the next session timings. So interested students, just ping in WhatsApp immediately, I'm interested, so that we will take note down and we'll start enrollment process by today evening guys. Any
Actually,
questions? Yeah.
Bhaskar, I want to talk one-to-one with you.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Just ping to our admin team. They will send you my number. Then you can call me after 1 hour or 2 hours. Okay.
Today, after 1 hour and 2 hour, I'll
Yes.
call you.
Yeah. Around 11 o'clock, just to give me a call. Just
Okay, sure.
ask our admin team. They will share you. Okay.
May I know your name?
My name is Bhaskar.
Bhaskar. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
One question that I am having old approach of Spring Boot suite.